up? We are back for day 2 of the Bums and Tums challenge. I am Coach Mack. Welcome to Bacon Fueled Fitness. If you are new here, if you are just joining us for day 2, that's fine. You can go back and do day 1 if you want. If you don't want to, that's fine too. We are going to get started. Again, no warm up. If you do want to warm up, pause or, come back to this, do a little warm up. I did not warm up. I'm just winging it here. We're doing 10 minutes of Bums and Tums stuff. And all of today is on the ground, so that's why camera's a little lower today, but I'm going to start my timer. We are starting out with some hip lifts. You may have heard these as hip bridges, whatever you want to call them. We are doing them. I'm going to start the timer, and then we are going. So meet me here on the ground for some hip lifts. And we are keeping those ribs in. So if your butt is doing the work, your ribs are not popped out and upward. If your ribs are up and out, then that means your low back is likely doing the work here, and we don't want that. This is not a low back workout or challenge. This is a Bums and Tums challenge. So we're keeping those abs in tight and then flexing our buns. And Lyra is going to join us. She was sleeping, and I thought I might be able to sneak up here without her realizing it, but no dice. All right, go ahead and pause. We're staying here. All of our bum exercises are hip lift stuff today. So our next one is going to be a hip lift pulse. So we just did the full range of motion. Now we have just the top half of the movement. So it's going to be a little bit more of a burn on our bums. And we are doing, again, just the top half. If you need a little modification, a little break, come down, just give your butt a slow rest, and then right back up into the pulse. So you want to really flex those cheeks at the top. Pretend you are squeezing a $100 bill between those cheeks, and you are not letting that sucker go. So we're here just pulsing it out, the top half of the movement. Less than 10 seconds with this pulse here. You've got this. You can do it. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Now we are going to do single leg. So I prefer to cross my leg over the other one. You can have it up in the air, however you want to do it. And we're going to do single leg hip lifts. I talked about yesterday during our lunges that it is totally normal to have one side that's easier than the other or feels stronger than the other. And that's totally normal, totally fine, but that's why we do the single leg stuff. Lyra really wants us to get our bums and tums right. But we're doing full range of motion here. I don't even know if I was doing full reps, but we are doing full reps here. She's quite distracting. And then you guessed it, in less than 10 seconds, we're going to do the other side. So go ahead and break, switch legs, cross that leg over, lift it up in the air, however you want to do it, it works. You can take these at your pace. So if you need to modify, just go ahead and slow it down a little. If you want to speed it up, you can do that. If you want, you can always add a dumbbell, put right here, like hold it right here on your hips to up the intensity a little bit. For those of you who are new to me and to Lyra, she is a 10-month-old Belgian Malinois, and they are notorious for having super high energy levels, and they are called Maligators. That's their nickname because they love to bite and chew, and she does. For me, it's in a nice way, but they are the dogs that are used for police and military, and so they are super smart. But yes, so she loves being involved. Time. All right, for our another bums. I told you we're doing all hip lifts. We have a hold. So we are just holding at the top. Here we go. So join me up at the top of the movement here. If I can get Lyra to move. So we're just holding at the top here. Remember, ribs stay in. So if you think, not necessarily like sucking your stomach in, but I want you to take your ribs and pull them down, like almost pull your ribs toward your pelvis. So really flex your abs, like tighten your core. So not suck in your stomach, but flex your whole core here. And that includes, again, those cheeks because we want our bums to do the work here. So just flex at the top. We've got 10 seconds. Flex just a little harder. Bring those hips a little bit higher if you can while keeping those ribs in. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. And our last bum is we are finishing this out with another set of hip lifts. So just regular reps, full range of motion, all the way up and all the way down, keeping those ribs in and flexing those cheeks at the very top. This is not a race. You don't have to do these fast, but I want you to really emphasize. You can even poke your butt, like, smack it a little bit, but it actually helps reinforce you squeezing those muscles. That tactile feedback helps you flex your muscles a little bit harder, a little bit more intensely, and like your whole butt, basically. So sometimes just, a few of our butt muscles, there's more than one butt muscle you have. So you want to have all of them flexing together really hard at the top, squeezing. We have 5 seconds. You can finish this, and then we're on to our Tums portion. And time. So flip on over. We're going to do some plank stuff for our 4 Tums movements. The first of which, we are holding a plank. So come here in a high plank. We're holding it. If you need to modify, you can always come down to your knees. Totally fine. But we're just up here in a high plank. And very similarly to the hip lifts, I want your ribs pulled in. So not sucking in your stomach again, but really flexing, like bracing for impact, your core. And that's how you have a really strong and stable plank position. So shoulders are right above your wrists. You don't want to be like out over your wrists. You want to stack your arms and then as straight of a line as possible from your shoulders down to your heels. And holding that steady so even your thighs, even your bums are flexed here. Less than 5. And time. So that's a high plank. For our next move, we're going into a low plank, and I want you to stack your arms like this. We're going to rotate to one side, and then we'll do the other side. So our elbows are stacked here, and we rotate, and then back to center. We're sticking with one side here, because like I said, we're going to do the other side. Whew. This is absolutely targeting your abs, your obliques, which are your love handles, like the sides there, because when you twist, your oblique here has to push up to keep you in this plank position. So we're here rotating. You can do these from your knees too if you need a modification, and you just rotate around on your knee. Totally fine. Wherever you are today, make it work. We're here. Whew. Whoa. And if you almost fall backwards, that's okay too. I didn't even need Lyra's help on that one. Time. We're going to switch sides, whatever side you started with, go to the opposite side, and we're going to twist to that side. So in 3 seconds, stack your elbows again here, and then twist to the side. Like I said, didn't even need Lyra to mess that one up for me. Can do that all on my own, which is why it makes it even more entertaining when she wants to do the workouts with us. But again, keeping that core nice and tight and stable and steady is how I want you to think of it. Rather than like flexing or sucking in, I want you to think of bracing your core. Think sturdy and stable. So very different exercises than, say, crunches or the sit-ups that we did yesterday. Just a different type of core strengthening here. Less than 10 seconds. Whew. I'm out of breath. I don't know about you. 3, 2, and 1. Time. Our last move we have, they're called London bridges. So we're going to be in a low plank on our elbows, and our hips are going side to side. Last move of day 2. So meet me in a low plank, and your hips Go side to side. And they do not have to touch the ground. So you don't even have to get close. Just want your hips going side to side. And you'll probably see my toes kind of walking forward a little. So it's kind of just your feet, however it works for you. For mine, they tend to slide back with each side to side movement. So we're over halfway here. Keep going side to side. If you need a break, drop your knees. You can do these side to side from your knees from modified as well. But just keep moving. Whatever you do, keep going. We're finishing day 2 in 5 seconds. You can do this. Whew. And time. Give yourself a big old pat on the back or pat on the booty because you just did Bums and Tums day 2. When you're done, tell me in the comments. Your hair's a little messed up. That's okay too. Mine is. I will see you tomorrow for day 3.